So let me start over. Welcome to the Bodhi Tree. I am so excited. I'm ecstatic that you are here joining me in this magical, mystical place where we get to share in the space. You get to co-create with me the different topics, the messages that are coming through. Anything and everything that has to do with your journey back to yourself is everything that we discuss here. So I want you to join me. I want you to have fun with me. I want us to go on an adventure where we get to explore different topics. So in doing so, I am going to bring forth topics that I am well conversed in because of my work as a psychologist, as well as my personal experience in doing this journey with you guys. But I'm going to also create and give myself the space and opportunity to explore in such a way where I'm going to allow the videos to go where they go. And even though I might have messages that come through for you guys to share with you guys to help you on this journey, I want to intentionally create the space for me to accidentally ponder upon different ways of perceiving this world. So with that being said, today's topic is all about the spiritual journey. The message that they gave me, when I say they, I mean my spirit team, my guides, my higher self, whatever you would like to label or categorize that particular energy as. But they gave me the message that I would like to share with you today. And the message is that we are spiritual beings having this human experience. However, sometimes we get so caught up in the spiritual beings aspect of having the human experience that we try and bypass the human experience. I want to come back to this because I wanted to share with you something. So you guys can't see, but behind me, I have a candle burning. I also have this incense burning. Incense is something that I never really particularly liked. In fact, back in college, I was not that, but this dude burned incense all the time. So whenever I go to visit him at his apartment, he would always have incense burning. And I don't know what kind of incense he was burning, but I hated it. In fact, I had a headache every time I went to his apartment that I almost wished, and I was younger than he was, so I wasn't quite in an apartment yet. I was in the dorms. I wanted to ask him to come back to the dorms, but I didn't want to just be the two of us in a dorm room. So I had to kind of stick with it. Like I had to kind of just, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I had to put up with the headaches that I would get going to his apartment because I hated the incense. And he would burn incense by an open window. And more than once, I like had the compulsion to just like flick the incense out the window and go, oh, I don't know what happened. There was a bird that grabbed your incense. So anyway, incense is burning behind me. And I wanted to share this with you guys because I am in such good spirits from this incense burning. I have a beautiful, dear soul sister, one of my best friends, that actually came over a couple weeks ago and brought me bags and bags of goodies and gifts. She speaks my love language. But one of the gifts that she got me was incense, and a lot of it too. And this particular incense is patchouli. If you guys, you probably don't know because I didn't share this message here yet. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but in the midst of tossing and turning to waking up, I brought this smell back with me from the dream state. And the dream state was actually a place that I didn't want to come back from because it was such a beautiful, amazing dream. Like I didn't want to come back. But I brought back this smell with me. And this smell, I feel like, so am I burning? It feels very warm. I know the candle's behind me. Coming back from the dream state, I brought this smell back with me, and it was the most beautiful, most peculiar smell. I had never smelled anything like that before. And my guides told me that it was a scent of patchouli. And I remember like in that haziness, the fog of coming to, I'm like, patchouli, like, is that even a word? So I grabbed my phone and I typed it in, not even knowing how it's spelled. And sure enough, there's patchouli, and it's a particular scent. I never actually went out of my way to find patchouli to smell it, to confirm or validate that that's the scent that I brought back. But synchronistically enough, my friend my dear sister, and I'm pointing that way because that's where they're stored, brought me patchouli incense. And I remember burning it for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I went, oh my God, yes. So that's the incense behind me. I wanted to share this because, and I have to go back, I have to remember to go back. I burn sage. Sage is something that the ancient wisdom of shamans taught. So the planet Earth taught shamans in our ancient civilizations to burn sage to clear the space of any negativity, to help us to release any toxic energies that are in our fields. And it is something that I burn when I meditate, and that's probably the thing that I burn most. Now, that has helped significantly for me in terms of helping me to meditate in an intentional and genuine way. I also burn, so after sage came along into my life 3 years ago, Palo Santo is another type of, I guess it's not another type of wood because sage isn't necessarily wood, I don't think. Palo Santo is something that the universe also kind of threw into my lap and said, here, use this. And I asked my spirit team, what is Palo Santo? Why do you want me to burn it? And the answer that I got back was that they wanted me to use Palo Santo to burn it whenever I felt my ego coming up. And ego for me right now is and this might change as well. Hold on, let me just make sure. I have a client soon and I want to make sure I'm not late for the client. Okay, I have enough time. So Palo Santo is a wood that I burn because my spirit guides have told me that it's going to help me to clear my ego. Ego right now is, for me, is a collection of the different stories, the different histories, the different limiting beliefs that I've come to collect. So ego is essentially my personality. It's the way that I show up because of what I believe about myself, what I believe about the world, the different things that I've come to believe about what reality looks like. So that is ego, not the ego that we traditionally think of as, the macho, like, I'm going to one up someone and I need to be proud of my accomplishments. Not that type of ego, but ego in the sense that, like, I have a personality that I view my world through. My guides told me, my spirit team told me that I needed to burn Palo Santo to remove the ego whenever that gets in the way, whether it's working with clients, whether it's writing, whether it's my meditations, whatever that might be. So I thought that was really neat. Now, incense came into my life 2-3 weeks ago from my dear friend, and I wasn't sure why, especially because incense before this experience, I never liked, right? Going back to my story of, like, it gave me headaches. I didn't like incense. So I wasn't sure why incense came into my life until I realized it was the patchouli. She gave me, of the many different types of incense to burn, patchouli is one of them. And having burned patchouli now, I don't know why I didn't feel any more motivated back then when I was given that download or third eye drop, as I like to call it. I didn't know back then. I don't know why I didn't pursue patchouli then when they gave me like that pressure to, like, hey, go look for this. But now that I'm burning it now, as I'm being more redundant as I go along in this video, I'm realizing something. So this is actually a download or a drop that I didn't receive until actually I started hitting record, or right before I hit record today. And I had asked why patchouli, and they didn't tell me then, but they're telling me now. Patchouli, or incense in general, is something they want me to burn when they want me to be a channel. Being a quote-unquote channeler, is a topic that is something that makes me go, ugh, I don't know how I feel about that. And the first time I actually heard anyone channel a different entity or energy source is, I guess there's more than one person that does this now, but someone was channeling this energy or a collective of energies called Cryon. And I remember when I was hearing this guy channeling Cryon, it's spelled Kryon, in case you guys are interested. His message, the energy just pierced my heart 3 years ago. And it was that piercing of my heart that allowed me to continue to break my heart open over and over and over again in the past 3 years. And it's been the most beautiful experience. But my spirit team is now telling me to burn patchouli whenever I need to channel. And when I think of a channel, I used to think of it as someone that was like a vessel, if you will, right? A vessel to hold space or energy, but I'm not a vessel, and neither are you. And remember, anything that I share on this channel, you could take it or leave it. Take only those things that make you like smile inside and leave everything else. So channeling has taught me that we are not a vessel. We're not here like as a bowl or jar to hold different energies. We are here to be a conduit, like a lightning rod. You and I, my dear friends, we are lightning rods. We are conduits. We are channelers. Let's say that word again. Channelers to receiving and sharing different messages. It's the most beautiful thing to be able to come to a place where you ask or you feel a sense in your heart and you're like that little niggle and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's true. And then to have another experience later on down the road where you can compare yourself to the way you used to be and going, I can't believe I even doubted myself for a second. So I'm here to share with you whatever superpowers you feel compelled to, you feel drawn to, you have, my dear friends. It's all within you. It's your job to keep cracking that heart open, to keep cracking that ego and split it apart so you can find your true light. And by being your true light without all of the gook on top of you, you get to be that pure source of lightning rods, where you will bring in the messages that are important for you, where you will bring in the wonderful lessons that you are meant to embark upon in this lifetime. So let's go back. This ties really nicely into how I started the video, talking about bypassing the human experience because we think we are these spiritual beings. And it's true, we are spiritual beings. We are just pure energy contained in these, not just vessels, but conduits, physical dense conduits. But we're not here to bypass anything. We're here to experience the human experience. 3 years ago, my heart broke open in so many different pieces. I don't even want to use that phrase because it's so outdated in terms of how I perceive the experience. 3 years ago, I looked at the devil in the eyes and I cowered and I peed my pants. I want to say quite literally because it happened in a dream where it felt like the devil or the demon was pacing back and forth in front of my doorway. And I remember waking to going, oh my God, that is the scariest experience I've ever had. And if you were to describe evil in any way, that's how it felt. However, that experience was just my higher self, my oversoul, the part of me that I can't contain in this physical conduit because this is just not light enough, I suppose. But that was me trying to tell me that I had a huge moment that was going to come into my life that was going to completely change drastically and significantly the way that I lived my life. And that change, what I like to call, or a lot of us in this world like to call the tower moment, is still ongoing for me. So the past 3 years, I've been going through moment after moment after moment of breaking myself, breaking my ego, breaking the ways that I used to believe about myself, the ways that I used to think about myself, the ways that I used to see this world, the ways in which I never questioned my beliefs were questioned inside and out. It's just something that I can't explain to you guys unless you've experienced it yourself, unless you have the wisdom from the experience of that information, if you will, where I just, the past 3 years, I've been break open, break open, break open, patch it up, break open, patch it up, break open, patch it up, over and over and over again. Now, it doesn't make any logical sense why my heart keeps breaking open, and so my ego keeps trying to give it meaning. It keeps trying to put it into a category of, oh, this must be why you're in so much pain. But once I've learned to ground myself and really learned to go inward, I'm beginning to learn more and more. There's so much that I don't understand, and it's okay to not give it meaning. And that's the hardest thing for me to do as a psychologist because I need to know why. Now, learning to surrender and let go of needing to know the why has been huge for me. It's been the most difficult for me next to having to learn patience. But surrender is really the opposite side of the coin of being present and plugged into this moment where your feet are. So having a human experience is about being plugged into where your feet are planted right now. Whether you want to label your experience as good or bad, it's not about bypassing any pain, any bad energies, any bad experiences. It's actually about enjoying them, embracing them, learning to go gracefully with the different energies that are coming through you to help you to expand and evolve. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So I want you to think about how you can bring into your own practice how to ground yourself, how to plant yourself. I do that by burning sage and incense now. I also do that when I don't have these things by doing different things like making sure I am aware of where I am physically, being at one with my body to understand the different emotions that are coming through, becoming more aware of my thoughts and understanding my thoughts are just something that I am experiencing on a projector and not to identify myself with those thoughts. But I wonder what different things you can do now that will help you to create the intention to ground yourself whenever and wherever you are in your life today. I hope this serves you guys well. Please feel free to comment below any questions that may have come up for you. I will talk to you later.